What is this? Well, not the Gene Park tweet. I retweeted this tweet. But dude, Capcom, this is going to be like 10 minutes. This is going to take that long, and then we'll move on. But this is crazy to me because I just played Resident Evil Requiem, and I was at the Capcom booth. And I love Resident Evil. I love Capcom games. And I have not played RE2 or RE3 original, but I've played the original first game, which is amazing. RE1, like, I was talking about this earlier today, as like a 22-year-old who did not grow up with this stuff and who, likes nice graphics, and I like quality of life things, and I like, easy accessibility. I like all this stuff. I played RE2 Remake, RE3 Remake, RE4 Remake, and I enjoy 4 Remake more than 4 original. And I played RE5, and I enjoyed it. Whatever, right? But RE1, the OG game, like I know they did a remaster. It's practically the same game, though. RE1 is so good. Like, that game holds up and is as good as RE2, 3, and 4 Remake. The original game, right? And I was literally talking about this before the stream today, which is crazy to think because, like, I feel like especially now, people my age and younger and maybe a bit older usually prefer something that's newer or looks nicer because it is newer or looks nicer, and because a lot of old games just have some jank that they can't get by for, like if there's a bit of jank, they don't want to get past that little portion for the rest of the really good experience, because that's just how games used to be and how they used to feel compared to now. But like Capcom, they didn't want to bring back the OG 3 games to GOG. So GOG is a website that releases games, chat, like that you can play on like PC, and it's DRM free. So like that's like I believe that's something for pirating. And so these games that you get from GOG, you can download, you can buy, and you get the actual like application for it. So you don't need like a Steam launcher. So if you want to play Metal Gear Solid 1, which they have on GOG, or in this example, RE1, 2, or 3, you can buy the game, and then you'll have like the application, like the exe file technically, and you can play it wherever, whatever PC on a computer. You can like technically like just put it in a file and email it to yourself and open that file on another email or another like computer, right? And you can play it, right? You don't need like Steam or a Steam account or something. So like that's cool, and that's why GOG is cool. But I don't know. The reason I bring it up is just because like Capcom's done so much good over the past X years since like DMC5. They're in like their golden era now, or their second golden era, or whatever. They're on a roll. But this is definitely not something to be included on the roll, because this is crazy. Like, brother, what? They still treat it like a piece of software, but games can't just be upgraded or replaced. Yeah, I saw someone made a tweet about the like movies, and how this would be like if Disney was like, yo, guys, the original Lion King, which this doesn't make sense because they're movies, but like if the original Lion King just disappeared forever, and the only way to watch it would be if you had like the OG disc or DVD for like, and they're like, the new live action is the new version. There's no value in having the old one. Like I saw that and I was like, that's a good kind of thing, because like obviously a lot of people don't like the new live action Lion King, even though I think it's a bit different since the new RE remakes are very good. But I know like at least for Resident Evil 3. They took out so much. I didn't play the OG 3, and I'd like to eventually. But Resident Evil 3 Remake is like supposedly took out like half the original game. I don't know why. I don't know if it was because they wanted to streamline it, or it was bad, or whatever the reason was. But they took out like all that game, right? So like if you want to play the original, and because people love original RE, like some people say 3 is like one of the best, but a lot of people dislike the remake for it. But like. That just sucks, man. Especially for someone like me, who I like to go back and play old games or games in a series. Because, like, if I want to play Kingdom Hearts, I'm going to play all the Kingdom Hearts games. If I'm going to play DMC, which I've done this for Kingdom Hearts and I did for DMC, I want to play all the DMC games. But Resident Evil, like, I know I didn't play 2 or 3 Remake, so I'm kind of, like, just this point doesn't matter. But I played OG 4 before Remake came out because I wanted to play 4. Because everyone loved it. And I played 4, and I'm like, I don't really like this that much. I think it's kind of poop. I think the original 4 of Resident Evil is kind of not great, but I beat the game. Controls are kind of not great. Of course they're not. Of course they're bad. I know, I get it. But other than that, like, it just wasn't that fun. I think 2 or 3 were much better. But I played the remake for 4, and I was like, this is amazing. However, that's how the opposite was for 3, right? A lot of people played the remake of 3 and was like, damn, this isn't nearly as good as the original. And even FF7's a different story because that's like a whole different thing. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what they're thinking about. What crack are they on? It's like Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, like the new one, Snake Eater. It's just like a Snake Eater, MGS3. I didn't play the remake or the original yet. I'm gonna play the original instead of the remake. But apparently the remake is just the same exact game but looks better, and that's like it with a couple other quality of life features. But for me, like, I want to play the OG. I want to play the OG because it looks better, and like I want that original feeling of like, why is this game so loved? You know what I mean? Like, if I want to play the newer one because I like how the newer one looks and like cool. But I want that original experience, so I understand why people who played this when they were growing up or whenever it was out and why it's so good. And so if you get rid of it, then it's just like, how can I do that? You know what I mean? Being good or not shouldn't even be a talking point. If it existed, please don't delete it. Well, yeah. No, I agree. That's what Capcom thought, right? Is like, the new remakes are so good. They're really good. We don't need the originals. Isn't that the whole point? That's it, right? Hold on, let me read it actually, because I did kind of read it a bit. But as games got older, what happens? People grow out of gaming, and then just got the hyper retro scene. GOG does pride itself on being a slightly different role to its friendly rivals. A year ago, GOG released the original RE 1, 2, and 3 on its platform, and I mean the original ones, not the remakes or the HD remasters. I did play the HD remaster of 1, even though I think it's essentially the same game. But the games as they were, albeit with a few technical tweaks. I was one of the people that spearheaded this project, says GOG's senior business development manager. Capcom was like, we have all those remakes. It's already the superior experience. They didn't see the value in bringing back the vanilla versions. Took a lot of convincing that there's an audience that has a lot of memories about those games and love to experience exactly the same game again. That's crazy. Yeah, it must have done well, man. I'd like to play the original. Honestly, I might play the original 1, 2, and 3. I'd probably play them off stream. Or maybe I'd play them on stream. I don't know. But yeah, that's crazy that Capcom would think that. I guess it makes sense though, because they named the remakes just straight up RE1, RE2, RE3. You know what I mean? Or no, RE1 is RE1 HD remaster. But 2 and 3 and even 4 are all just Resident Evil 2, 3, 4. So I guess that's why they're like, hey, this is the superior thing, because they don't even label it as like a new separate thing. They label it as like a, in English, yes, not for us though. Oh, what's the Japanese? Because it's Biohazard, right? But is it just Biohazard RE2? Oh, and so then the originals is just Resident Evil 2. Or no? Oh, no. The original's Biohazard 2 in Japanese. And so this one adds the RE. Oh. Interesting. So then maybe... Then why did English? That's weird. That's cool, though. So maybe that's just an English thing, then. Maybe that doesn't make sense. Yeah, Biohazard 2 is just the OG. Oh, gotcha. So then... Maybe what I said was wrong. Maybe the reason it's like that is just an English thing. Huh. I prefer the Biohazard RE2 though. Very easy to distinguish for us. Yeah. Which is like the original, right? Japanese is like, it's a Japanese developer, so yeah, that's interesting. Never mind, take back what I said then. That's obviously not the case. It's weird that they would think this way then, you know what I mean? That's so bizarre. Huh. Recently, System Shock 2 got delisted or will be soon because there's the remaster now. You can take a good guess how the comment section was for that announcement. Yeah, that sucks. Silent Hill 1 through 3 is still missing. Yeah, why isn't Silent Hill? Well, Silent Hill 1 is on GOG, right? Or no? GOG. I thought I played 1 because of GOG, or did I emulate it? No, SH1 is on here. The OG. Wait, no. Yes, it is. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, you're right. It's not on here. No, there's a vote. You can vote on games to bring. Oh. That's actually cool. Yeah. Oh, they have a whole website where you can vote for games. Oh, cool. Resident Evil has 36,000 upvotes. Oh my god. Oh, this is interesting. Metal Hellsinger. Dragon Quest 1. Wow. Especially with the remakes coming out of Dragon Quest 1 and 2, right? And wonder how Square Enix would think about. Square Enix probably will say the same thing Capcom says, unfortunately. They're probably the same way. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. FF7 not being on GOG is kind of crazy. But Square Enix their SC's a little picky, man. They're a little stingy. But RE, this is the HD remaster. Oh, they don't have it on here. They have the original one though. But interesting. But the original one isn't it like practically the same thing as this? Like it's nothing comparable to like RE2 remake and like RE1 remaster. Maybe I'm wrong, but like they're essentially the same game. It's just one looks a bit better? Or no? Oh, the graphics are much different. But I guess it doesn't really matter still. People still want the original. That's the point. I'm like, I think there's RE1 remake. Oh, interesting. Oh. So I guess I'm literally, what I'm saying is what Capcom people are kind of saying. It's not about it being kind of the same. It's about being literally the game. People want the game because it is the game. They don't want the remaster because it's, you know, the game different. They want the exact same experience from a kid or from when they originally played it because that's what it is, you know? So, yeah, duh. Which I agree upon, you know? I guess because I didn't play the originals, I'm not like on the front lines as well, but yeah, that is weird. Capcom thinking the new one is better explains why Dino Crisis happened before RE because there is no remake for D. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's true. You lost interest of a lot of remakes in general? What, for like the new live action? Yeah, the new live action things suck. They're not good. For like Disney movies too, but this is cool. Yeah, GOG is like the only website that really like that really like does this still. If I remember correctly, they just kind of released it in part 3. I kind of want to harvest sequence where Clutch is Resident Evil style. Then he loses his mind. That would be crazy. Was it random segue? But would he do that though? He already kind of did that in part 2. You know what I mean? He already did that with Aerith and Tifa, or he already slashed Tifa's stomach. Or no. Well, yeah, almost did. At the Mako generator, whatever reactor. I like the live-action Beauty and Beast and live-action Aladdin, but that's it, yeah. But imagine if Disney's like, you can never watch the original Beauty and the Beast again. Only if you have the DVD from 2002. That'd be crazy. But, yeah, man, there's not much else to talk about other than that's kind of crazy work that they did that. But, hey, maybe Capcom, I think, like, is a crazy statement to say. But at least they seemingly are aware of like what happens. Like they do those surveys, and I think they hear community feedback relatively well. Granted, what was said was that from like a Japanese dev? That might not be as like mixed together, but they still do the surveys, so like I think they kind of should know what people want, kind of. So maybe that happening and that doing well, like GOG said, then maybe they're like, oh, shoot, we're kind of stupid for thinking this. Probably not, but I don't know. No, I'd love to have the, like... Oh, well, I guess I'm trying to think of games that, like, I'd want the original to be able to be bought. I guess Silent Hill is a good... Yeah, Silent Hill. Because I played Silent Hill 1. I played 2 Remake. I'd like to play 3, but 3 is... I guess 3 is also in hell, right? Yeah, you have to emulate it. And they're going to remake 3, supposedly, after 1. But Konami's never going to put it on GOG, bro. Konami sucks. And we know we can see this with the Metal Gear Solid HD Remaster collection. At least, like, they have a collection of the originals, but, like, they're not even as they're not even as good as the originals, right? The ports are poo-poo caca. Yeah, Silent Hill 3 is like stuck. I'd buy the old DVDs then if Disney said that. Well, yeah, but if the old DVDs were $100, then it's like, uh-oh, what am I gonna do? You know? That's the problem for games. Is like, if I want to play an original, like, old original game that isn't anywhere else, like, if I want to play, like, the original RE2, right, and you couldn't get it online anywhere other than pirating it, right, unless you don't want to pirate it or don't know how to and get a virus on your computer. If you want to find the original copy, maybe RE2 specifically isn't running you a big price point, but a lot of old games are like that, especially, like, Nintendo ones, too. Resident Evil 2 original game, physical. Even when you search up RE2, it does show the remake. Resident Evil 2 PS1 physical game. Okay, it's like $12. The disc only is $26 on eBay. But the case as well is like $50+, $60. PS1 Resident Evil 2 black label, no manual, very good condition. Either way, it's crazy that you got to pay that much for a game that old and that's reselling only. Like, that shouldn't be the case. So that's the point of it, you know. Either way, yeah. My friends who started from Silent Hill 2 Remake was like, so how would I play the rest of them? Yeah, I played SH1 because I emulated. And SH1's okay, but I'm glad I played it, right? It's like, I think that's also a thing for a lot of people, is like, with all these remakes and remasters, a lot of people want to play, like, the first of a series and why it blew up, or why it's so popular. Even if it's not that great now, they still want to know, okay, how did people feel back in the 90s, the early 2000s, whatever, the 80s? Like, how did people feel playing this for the first time, and, like, why it felt so transformative? And it was cool to play SH1 and be like, interesting, now I know. You know, I'm going to play the 1 remake when it comes out in a couple years eventually, but, like, I'll be happy I played the original 1 so I know, like, then how it kicked off 2 and 3 and etc. And now F came out, which F is absolutely phenomenal. But, yeah, it sucks. But, hey, at least they're listening, right? I'd be sick if at the end of part 3, 7, I don't think 7 and 10 are in the same universe. This reminds me of someone flaming me for liking S Silent Hill, saying real Silent Hill fans don't like it. Silent Hill F is amazing, and real Silent Hill fans should like the game. The person saying that probably just hates women. I'd make a guess. As someone who's only played Silent Hill 1 original, 2 remake, and F, maybe I don't have much of a say in this, but the game is literally it is better than OG 1 as well. You can fight me on that, any unks out there. But it's better than the first game. The first game's fucking buns, not gonna lie. Silent Hill 2 Remake is really good, but F is just better, bro. It's the same thing. Play the game multiple times, get multiple endings. The only reason there's obviously valid reasons to not. We're getting on a different topic, but there's only valid reasons to not like F. Is like if you don't like the combat, or like, I don't know. There's valid reasons to not like the game. That makes sense. But a lot of people don't like it because it is about, like, not a lot of people, but the angry people on Twitter don't like it because it's about a high school girl. And they're either upset that she's not like half naked, because there's weirdos out there that I've seen tweets about it, or they're upset because they think they're the target of like, man is bad and you shouldn't marry man, you know? And that's obviously not the message of the game. But they wouldn't know that because they only played the first ending of the game. And if you played through the whole game, you'd realize that actually, I actually can't say anything because I don't want to spoil it. But either way, I'm not going to